Hey there, folks. Time again to do some retro CSS battles. These are from April 7th, which looks a little bit like the old, the mobile Sony, was it the mobile PlayStation? I can't remember. And then here's some, I don't know, match heads, or little, the ends of jacks, and then this odd shape. So interesting shapes to make here today. So let's get right to it. For a thing like this, I definitely feel like I want to use the HTML element and put a background on the HTML element, right? Which is implicit. It's part of the some of the background of this. And then I believe I can make put a border radius on this on the body of some value, 10 pixels, we'll say, and then you can kind of see that happening. So I'll put a background color on this, and then I think I'll do all of it on the background itself. So I won't need a paragraph element. So let's use margins to put this in place. Is it 90? And then that, let's call it 10Q, 20Q, 25Q, something like that, 26Q, 27, 28. We might want to use pixels here. How about, let's just go with pixels, 20 pixels. There's no shame. There we go. So that actually looks a little bit better than the Q values. Whether I need to, whether I could optimize that, it could. All right, so let's do the background. And we're gonna do it one piece at a time. I'm gonna start, we'll call my shot here. We'll start with the circles. Background is a circle, the radial gradient that repeats, right? So we'll do a radial gradient, and we'll do at 10 pixels, a dark circle, and then put transparent under it. So there's a shape. It's in the wrong spot. That's all right. 20, maybe it's 25 pixels over. Is that the center? And 25 pixels down. That's also the center. So if I do 25 or 20, or is it 15? Then we get that, I think. So I'm going to put into the distance of this background the color. So there it is. So how do we get that to repeat? We need to have the position be at 0, 0, and then give it a width, 100 pixels, 140, 50, 60, 80, 90, 200, 10, 20, 30. And then if we give it a height, we give it 30 pixels. So we're getting the repeat. Make it taller, 40, 50, 60. And then that's repeating. That's repeating. Okay, so 40, 60, 80, 70. 70? I think it's 70. So I believe once we've done that, we can remove this at, and then move that position here. No, that's not right. So we need to move that to be, what, negative or something? Or 100 pixels. 20, 30, 35. And set that 0. So we're removing the at and then just doing a position. We could do it either way. In this case, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 65, and then 140. And is that slightly better? It's almost there. Vertically we're wrong, so what, 60? There it is. All right, so that's our first part. What's the next part? The next part, I think, is I guess we have different choices here. You know what we can do? We could do, no, I think background's the right way to do it. So let's narrow it in, linear gradient. And we'll do it just the same way we did this other one. We'll go from 90 degrees, and then some number, and then transparent, because we'll put the black, the screen part, for lack of a better way to think about it. So there, that's that. So what are those numbers? Let's try 10%, 0, 90%. So those are our color stops for this gradient. Is it 20% over? 21, 22, 15%, 16, 17, 18, and then what, 82? That could be right. All right, so how do we do the rest of this? We will do a conic gradient. Well, actually, you know what we could do? We don't have to do that. We can do this color, 20%. And then have the dark color on the other end as well. So we don't need to do a conic gradient. That's fine. I do like a conic gradient, but don't let it stop you from doing what you from considering other alternatives. All right, 82, 0, 82. It's probably 0 there, and then 0, 82%. So that's kind of it, but the numbers are wrong. How about 18? Oh, do I have it wrong? 22, 21, 22, 60Q, 65, 66, 65, 64. How about 64Q? All right, and then 100Q, 200Q, 230Q, 31, 32, 33. So these numbers are the most likely to change. Regardless, let's do the last linear gradient, which again will be very similar to this, but we don't need the light colors. No, we did not. And we want these numbers to be, you know, like 10 pixels or something. And then 100 pixels. All right, 110. Something like that. Let's submit that. Let's see if we've got it. Kind of haphazard about the units that I'm using here today. I keep trying percentages and trying Q. That's 86%. Oh, because why? Because I put transparent here, and so that is not a good score. There's the color. The final color is that light screen color. All right, let's retry that. See if we've got a match. 99.9%. So we definitely have, you know, little bits of edges here that are no good. Best probably to use pixels. How about 40 pixels here and 50? And that's a nice solid thing. How about 60 pixels? Great. 200 pixels. 210, 20. Nice even numbers. And we'll just go pixels all the way. 230 pixels. Great. Pixels, 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 and let's resubmit and see if we've got it. I think that's going to be 100%, but I have been wrong before. Nope, that's 100%. So unit replace and minify, and we're all done with that guy. Super fun set of shapes using the HTML element, and I'm going to do the ampersand rather than HTML because that's a container. I think I have that right. And if I do star, is that gonna, yeah, that's gonna not work in the way I want it to. There are other optimizations that could be made here, obviously, and you can do each one of these as their own elements, and there's lots of options. But that's the way I did it. All right, so that's, where are we in? We're in April of 2024, so that's the 7th. Here's the 8th. This one I definitely want to use elements for, and what I want to do is use this attribute of, I want to set the color of this body so that any box shadows I do will be the correct color. So once I do box shadow and put it at, you know, some arbitrary distance, you got to spell shadow right. Box shadow. There's your box shadow. That's great. So I'm going to use this to my advantage. There's how I set the. So when I make this first box, I can do 1, 2, 3, 4 box shadows, and it will just work for me. I'm going to like doing that. That's among my favorite ways to do things. All right, so how little code can I write? Is this thing like 90 tall? Let's do margins to put it in place. Margin, I'm going to do all 4 values. I believe because we're not sending a margin on the body, I need to do a negative top margin. -10 or something. -8. -7. Yeah, -8 is what we need. And then what? 40? 30? 32? 20? 25? 27. There we go. And then this number is going to be like 200 or something. 300. 3, 10, 20, 30, 28. And then the height of that needs to be taller. How about 99? All right, so that's our first step. That background is going to be this. We're a little too not wide enough, so I think that this needs to be 27. There we go. So now I just do box shadows. So we're going to do something like 0, 100 pixels. No, something more like 100 pixels, 0. 1, 10, 20, 30, 40, 150. And if that's probably 300 pixels, 0. And that's the last one. All right, another box shadow will be what's the next box shadow? The last box. Oh, so the next box shadows will be at some number positive. How about 100 pixels and then downward? So 60 pixels. So those numbers are wrong. How about 70, 75, and then down 100, 200. There we go. How about 201? Okay, or 200, 201, 202. Yeah, either one probably works. Let's do 150 pixels, 202 pixels. Oh, actually no, we need to add, so it's 225. 225. Okay, so that's the next way to do that. So the second element, here's another one, and you see it just multiplied. Well, what I want to do with this one is obviously make it a circle. So border radius. %. So that's a circle, but the height is wrong. Height, and obviously the margins are probably wrong as well. So what I want to do is not do the border radius yet. I need to make those squares. So height would be 60, and then these margins I need to alter. And we'll do 0, 0, 0. Okay. So let's make circles. So this first number needs to be more negative. 2, -2, -3, -4. And I'm going to do aspect ratio 1. There we go. I like this. So I'm going to not do the height. No, I need to do the height. And I think that means I can't do this aspect ratio. That's not going to work the way I want it to. Okay, so more margins to narrow this in. Minus for 100, 0, 100. And we've got getting something peculiar. Oh, because we've got box shadows there. So color red. This is going to show us my box shadows and show just how weird this shape is. This number should be much greater. 2, 10, 20. And this number should be much less. 40, 0. I just need to unset this box shadow. Box shadow, I do none, because I'm going to use box shadows, but I need to get the shape correct first. Okay, so let's get that square. This number needs to go higher, 3, 4, 5. That side margin is squeezing this in. 3, 10, 3, 12. And then, let's see, border radius, 50%. So we need more margin here. How about 10, 12, and then more negative, 6, 7, 8, 9. We'll take it. I'm actually pretty pleased with that. So, and we get free box shadows that seem to be correct, partly. Though the last of these box shadows don't apply. So we got a problem with that. But the first 3 are great. So I'm going to copy these 3, no, the first 2 rather. And that I get those for free. And then 30 pixels, 30 pixels. There it is. 50, 60, 60, 70. Again, all with box shadows. All right, and then again, there they are. So I think that's a good match. I'm going to submit and make sure we're at 100%, and then we're going to make some optimizations. That's a 100% match. So you'll notice that each has 4 box shadows. 1, 2, 3, 4. The first 2 are identical, and then these are 75, 202, and then this is 225, 202. So, and this is 75, 60, and this is 225, 60. So if we make this a variable, var of --s or 202 pixels, and do the same thing again here. And actually we can say --s 202 pixels. Rather than doing this twice, we just do var --s. Then when we set --s equal to 60 pixels, we can just remove this box shadow entirely and it will work. Very, very nice. And we can, this is also a variable, var --m, or that set of numbers. And then this could be --m. And then height, same deal, var --h or 99. And then this is --h. So 2 elements with a box shadow, and you can see what the shadows are if I change this color. So that does it. I think that's the end in terms of what optimizations I can make here. And it's a fun solution to this problem. Let's unit replace and minify and submit. And that's the end of this particular interesting little challenge. I don't know what to call that shape. And this is a better score than I've gotten in the past. I'm sure I did this with background gradients, radial gradients and some linear gradients, or yeah. All right, lastly, okay, what is this guy? This is certainly a peculiar one. Let's start with the blank template. I kind of am inclined. So what is this shape and how can we do it the most simply? This is one where I can see several different patterns. We got these blocks in orange, but then we need to cover it. But the blocks in yellow might be the place with the best reproducibility. So I'm going to start there. So this is a conic gradient. So we're going to do what? Remove. I think we are going to need an element, but we're going to do that last. But a conic gradient that repeats only on the x-axis, I think will get us a bunch of the way there. Conic gradient of this color, 75% around, and then transparent, 0. I'm going to put it over like 40 pixels and down 100 pixels, and then have a width and a height. So 100 pixels, 100 pixels. And then repeat X, probably not that. How about no repeat to start? And then put a background color so I can see what the heck I'm doing. So I want to make this be this component. So I need to move it over a little further. So that's background position 50, 60. There it is. And then we're too low. How about 50? How about 60? Rate. And now it's about the width. So the width is 200, 230, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. And then the height needs to be more, 40, 50, 70, 80. And then we need an at. There's 100 pixels, 100 pixels. It should be over further, 200, 220, 30, 40, 50, and then down, 150. And so now, oh, and actually we need to be over a little bit further, don't we? Because I've misjudged the repeat. So this at should be less. Yeah, the at value here should be less. 230, 220, and then the width should be less. So that's what, 250? And then we move it over. There we go. So that's what we got. And now when I let this repeat on the x-axis, then I get that. And I'm happy with that. I think that's okay. Is it a weird shape? Yes. So what do I want to do? How do I want to make the rest of this? I definitely feel inclined to make an element and then do a clip path today. Are there other ways to do this? Yes, 100% there are. So how do I use margin? So margin 100, 0, or 100 minus 20, 0, something like that. This number should be less, 8, 7, 6, and we need to be taller, 110. Okay, so now I'm going to make this shape. I'm going to cut it out with a polygon. Clip path, polygon, 0, 0, 100 pixels 0. I'm just going to use pixels today because I feel, no, I'll use some percentages, but only for 50% or 100%. So halfway, and then pixel values after that. So 50%, 50 pixels, and then 200 pixels 0, and then 100% 0, and then 100%, 30 pixels down, and then 210 pixels, 30 pixels down, and then 50%, 100%. Now, apologies for sort of rushing through these. I understand not everyone has internalized this weird polygon math, but there's the crazy shape. that I've made, and when I make the background some color like red, or actually black would be great. There's the shape I just made. Is it right? No, not at all. It's terrible. But it's got all the points that I want. So let's get there. And I actually think that the this middle point is correct. So let's do the middle parts first. So 50%, 60, 70. Okay. And then we need to move over more. So this 200 number, 2, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 75, 280, 270, 280, great. So that's the shape now. Bit by bit. All right, and let's go ahead and make that background yellow, just so we don't totally drive ourselves batty. All right, so I'm adjusting 41, 42, 43. Great. And then this last number, 90, 100, 110, 20, 30, 40, 30, 30. Okay, we're getting closer. Again, we're cutting out that shape. So 0, 0, that's the second point is here. The third point is here, and that's correct. 280, 0 is correct. 100% 0 is the top corner. Down, I think that is correct. And then here, this number needs to go up to 300 maybe. All right, getting there. 305, that's worse. How about 295? 26. Definitely a fraught technique. 6, 5, 4. All right, let's submit that, even though it is wonky. It is currently wonky. 99.9%. So what can we do to make this better? I think maybe the height could be one more, and that is slightly better. Yeah, I think that's a good change. All right, so the second number, 2, 3, 4, and then this number could be less, 69. That's better as well. How about this number, 25, 24, 23? That's also slightly better. Not perfect. I like using percentages because they tend to have a geometric evenness, but because the height is a little variant, and that's 100% match, we will totally accept that. What else can we do there? We need that background color because we're repeating only on the x-axis. This doesn't do it, so we'll leave that as is, because that's actually a good change. Let's replace and minify and resubmit, and we've completed another 3 of these. So this is April 7th, 8th, and 9th of 2024, the daily targets. Super fun to do these, and very satisfying to get that right and be able to manipulate a clip path like that. I really enjoy clip path. It's a fairly simple shape, and we're not doing this whole thing, just this weird V shape along with the borders. And I guess you could do, I could have done, well, there are a few different ways I could have done this, but I'm happy with the way I did it. All right, thanks for watching. Have a great day, and make something with HTML and CSS. They are available to you to make cool stuff and send to your friends and publish the truth, which is something that's really important for us all. All right, have a great day. Bye-bye.